Another interesting story here, and it is that a Yale historian is warning that Trump's rise is perfectly mirroring fascism and the Nazis in the 1930s. So, a lot of people, of course, draw connections to, from Trump to Hitler, which I don't think that really are, applicable. I think that maybe to Mussolini would make more sense. But here's what Raw Story says. They say, according to a Yale historian, the rapid ascent of Donald Trump and all that he stands for has historical echoes that perfectly mirror the rise of the Fascists and the Nazis in 1930s Europe. Writing for The Guardian, Timothy Snyder warns that conservatives seem to be unaware that Trump is taking their governing philosophy into darker and more violent territory. According to Snyder, Trump's showman style of populism is heavily influenced by White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon. Quote, Steve Bannon, who promises us new policies, quote, as exciting as the 1930s, seems to want to return to that decade in order to undo those legacies, Snyder writes. He seems to have in mind a kleptocratic, authoritarianism hastened by deregulation and the dismantlement of the welfare state that generates inequality, which can be channeled into a culture war prepared for by Muslim bans and immigrant denunciation hotlines. Like fascists, Bannon imagines that history is a cycle in which national virtue must be defended from permanent enemies. He refers to fascist authors in defense of this understanding of the past. Noting that President Trump is not a, quote, articulate theorist, Snyder points out that the president gives Bannon's dark vision a populist veneer that has historic parallels. So this is something very interesting, I think, to think about as well. And I think that what he's getting at, what this Yale historian is getting at, is something that is more of a more summary, honestly, of a culture that is going on the right. If you look at a lot of like rebel media, Lawrence Southern, a lot of these like Stefan Molyneux, all these crazy guys and girls, of course, you look at these people's videos, like much of it is fear-mongering, fear tactics, and most of the time outright lies, and trying to say that, it has a lot of nationalism at the heart of it, and it's basically our culture's being destroyed, these people from different countries are coming, etc., and it's honestly just ridiculous. I mean, this is something that it's really unfortunate, one, because now it's being embraced under President Trump. What's up, guys? It's Saul Hill here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.